All right, today we're going to pick up with the rest of section 2 on Italy. If you remember back to yesterday, we talked about kind of the people and the environment, how the Apennine Mountains go right down the middle of the country of Italy. And then we also talked about how the Alps on the top region part, or top part of the region of Italy block off moisture, gives them Mediterranean climate, all that good stuff. We also talked about migration and how they're a population of 58 million people, how a lot of them live in the coastal plain areas because the mountains are kind of a barrier, and how the majority of Italians actually live in the northern part of Italy. So we also discussed economic activities, and today what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the regions of Italy, north, central, and southern Italy. So, to continue on from yesterday, after the Roman Empire collapsed in the 5th century, the Italian peninsula became a changing patchwork of separate political units. Over the next 1,300 years, many Italian cities operated as independent states. Kingdoms grew and declined, and as the influence of Christianity spread, the Roman Catholic Church gained control over large amounts of land. It wasn't until about 1861 that states in the northern part of the peninsula joined together to form the country of Italy. Within about 10 years, the entire peninsula was united, and during the 20th century, a united Italy had survived 2 world wars and changes in national government. Now, the survival of the country as a unified nation is pretty impressive because the big differences that exist among its 3 different regions. Although each of its smaller regions has a distinct local character, Italy may be divided roughly into 3 groups: northern, central, and southern Italy. Now, the country's northern region is often called European Italy. The provinces in this region are located close to the rest of Europe, and they resemble Central European countries more than other Italian provinces do. The heart of northern Italy is the lush Po River Valley, a broad plain between the Alps and the Apennines. Since drainage was improved in the Middle Ages, the valley has been Italy's most productive agricultural area. Wheat and rice are very important crops that grow here. The Po Valley nowadays is an important center of commercial industry because about 2/3 of Italy's factory products are made in this area. Early industrial development focused on the cities of Milan and Turin, which are located near sources of raw materials. Today we're going to get hydroelectricity from rivers in the Alps that power a lot of factories, and the industrial growth of the Po Valley has made Genoa a thriving port city. Some other important cities in the region, we're going to find the cities of Milan, and like I said, we have Turin, Genoa. They all are important economic cities, and they do things a little bit differently. Sometimes people go up into the Alps to ski in the resorts. We have people that come to the lakes in the area that attract visitors all year round. And we're also doing dairy farms that are very productive and profitable. Got a little bit ahead of myself here, but what we have also happening here is we get frequent flooding in the area around Venice that has stunted its agricultural and industrial growth. The city of Venice itself, which we talked about yesterday, is actually very, very cool. But they do have some problems of pollution, what we call subsidence. Subsidence, by definition, this is a word you've never heard before, but it's a phenomenon geologically where the ground in the area starts sinking. Now, the reason that Venice is sinking is because it was built on very swampy land, and over time, that land has kind of sunken down, and the city is basically not plummeting, but it's sinking right into the swampy lagoon that is Venice. People will flock to Venice because it's extremely popular. They have an intricate network of canals that serve as streets, and they have very beautiful buildings and palaces that were built by Venetian traders in the late Middle Ages. And right here, this is just a picture of Italy. You've seen probably things on TV or in movies of people in their gondolas. This is a very romantic city, and it's very, very unique. The one thing, though, it does smell really bad. So now, as far as central Italy, it consists of mainly the city of Rome and the regions that surround it, which were once controlled by the Roman Catholic Church. Rome was chosen as the capital in the late 1800s for 2 reasons. First of all, its location was central, and second, it had been the capital of the Roman Empire, and its history symbolized the glory that the Italians hoped to restore to their new nation. But still, standing there are the ruins of the Colosseum, which is ancient Rome's largest stadium, which you can see here on the right, both from outside and inside, and as well as the Forum, which is a public meeting place. Now, there's an American novelist by the name of Michael Mushaw that described the flurry of activity that you might see in Rome. He says, many streets are as narrow as hallways, as steep as staircases, as dim and cool as cellars. Yet even where these cramped passages open into broad avenues and room-like piazzas or open squares full of people, Romans maintain their inalienable right to do outdoors anything they might do at home. Romans simply like to do things together. They enjoy sharing with the world the endless wonder they take in themselves and in one another. Some of you may have seen the movie Gladiator, where Russell Crowe fights inside the stadium. It's pretty cool CGI. Now, within the city of Rome, we have an area that measures less than 1 square mile known as the Vatican City. This tiny piece of land serves as the world headquarters for the Roman Catholic Church. Fewer than 1,000 people live in Vatican City, but the district swells daily with visitors that come to its two main structures, St. Peter's Basilica, which you see here, and then the different Vatican museums that are dotted throughout this small, tiny area in the middle of Rome. Now, Rome isn't the only major city in central Italy. Bologna is a leading agricultural center known for its wonderful variety of foods. Florence is a cultural center made famous by Michelangelo and other painters during the Renaissance. You know them as the Ninja Turtles, Raphael and Leonardo da Vinci. But they were made famous during a period called the Renaissance, which was a period of art and learning that started in Italy in the 1300s, and it was then kind of spread out throughout Europe. And the Renaissance was definitely a change in world history. Right here, this is the top half of Michelangelo, his famous statue of David. So, very, very famous sculpture right here. And finally, southern Italy. The southern region of Italy is known as the Mezzogiorno and includes the islands of Sicily and Sardinia. The name actually means midday, and it points out one of the region's most noted features, which is its intense noontime sun. Poor roads once made travel very difficult in this area, and new freeways now bring this region closer to the rest of the nation. Agriculture is not highly profitable here because the soil isn't very good, and we are still using pretty outdated farming techniques. We did get some heavy industries that started to locate here after World War II, but they have suffered in recent decades, and as a result, many Southerners have migrated to northern Italy. Other Southern Italians have moved to Naples, which is the largest city in the region, which you can see here on the left. And this port city suffers from some of the worst poverty in Europe, although you can't really tell from these pictures because it's right on the water. But the number of available jobs can't keep pace with the number of people who wish to work. So the people hope that as Italy's economy develops within the European Union, as we talked about yesterday, their standard of living will improve. Now that does conclude section 2. You now have an assignment to do, which you can grab from the sub. We will see you tomorrow.